Hi guys, it's Steph again. I'm calling to you today from a snowy Wednesday morning, mid-morning. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my physical disability. I know that some of you may have heard me mention it in passing. I had meningitis when I was 18 months old in the spring of 1979 that left me uh, right side hemiplegic. It's due to scarring on the left side of my brain. I'd like to talk to you about some of the things that I have accomplished with uh, as a result of being physically challenged through life. I had to endure much um, bullying through all the way through school. Um, with regard to my physical disability as well. I'm still here, so I guess that's the proof is in the pudding there. Um, but other things that I've accomplished besides survive the bullying, um, you know, it I've accomplished things that uh, non-disabled people take for granted. A lot of times, little things like uh, tying my shoes was a huge win for me because it took me so long. I think I was 12 or 13 years old by the time I finally got out of Velcro shoes. So that's a pretty major win because figure out I had to be a creative problem solver all the way through. So that made with regard to the physical disability, it made things a lot more difficult for me than it would say my friends. Other things that um, I've accomplished: I received my Eagle Scout in December of 1995. Yay! There was one last merit badge that I had to do. It was either sports, which included push-ups, sit-ups, and stuff like that. Pull-ups. I can't do a pull-up. I don't have the strength in my right arm, or the controlled strength in my right arm to be able to do something like that. So that was going to be out. I didn't participate in sports or anything because of my disability. I think I did long jump in the track, uh, uh, like 1 year of junior high school, as an attempt to fit in and not get teased. Um, but well, that didn't work out the way I had planned. So I didn't do any sports. I was a manager of the football team, which kept all the stats and stuff in junior high school too. Which, you know, it was whatever. It was an attempt to fit in. Uh, but being bullied was a huge part of my childhood. Um, and I think that bullying now is a lot worse than bullying was then because now kids can't avoid it. It's at school via face to face. It's on social media. Um, you log into your Facebook page and you see, well, negative things about you tends to lower. At least back when I was that age, I could avoid it. There wasn't anything such as the internet, like how prevalent it is today. There were certainly no cell phones that could hook up to the internet, much less get any cell service outside of your town. Um, so it was easier back then than it is now. I don't think it was any like less bad, but it was easier to get away from back then, where it isn't today. Um, so other things that I've accomplished: I got my Eagle Scout in December of 1995, which was a huge win in my book as far as being disabled and proving to the world that I could actually do something. Other smaller, maybe not as important wins for me. I had to. Things that are easy for others are harder for me. So I have to. And with that said, I have to come up with alternative ways to go about simple things, like buttering toast. Who has trouble buttering toast? You know, not so much with cooking, but like putting. I got my ears pierced in December of 2012. Actually, it was the last weekend in December, so it was the week. It was the only weekend between Christmas and New Year's. I think it was like December 28th or something. I can still remember. I could tell you if I looked it up. It was like the 27th or 28th, and I decided to. I was living in Kansas at the time, and I decided to run down to Joplin to get my ears pierced because a very good friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, for Christmas gave me money to go get my ears pierced. Well, I didn't even realize that it was the last weekend of the year. So the malls are jam packed, or the mall where I went was jam packed, and I chickened out. The first time that day that I went by the store, it was a Claire's, to get my ears pierced, I chickened out because there was a line leading halfway down the hall of little girls and their parents and some maybe uh, pre-adolescent girls that were there waiting and to get their returns or exchanges or whatever, and I totally chickened out. So I chickened out, so I went to go get some lunch, and after talking to the waiter, I said I was on my way out to my car because I totally chickened out, and I went um, out to my car. Well, on my way out to my car, I had the realization of, because it's the kind of person I am, if I don't do this stressful thing right now, I'm going to hem and haw over it, and I'm probably going to regret it, and I'm probably going to justify means and motive not to do it, and never do it in the future. Well, I had it set in my mind that getting my ears pierced was like a rite of passage, so to speak. It was like a symbol to me that I was going to do this, and follow through with my gender um, transition. So I said, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to. I put my leftovers in the car and I went back into Claire's, and I got my ears pierced, which was a huge step. It was cool. Now in February, when I got my ears, when I was able to actually take out the ones that I had initially put in, I didn't realize, I thought that, oh, well, I can just do it just like any other person. Well, that's not necessarily the case. I absolutely threw myself into fits trying to get the backs on the post earrings that I had bought because I thought that they were cute. Absolutely, I mean, it threw me into an absolute fit. I couldn't get them in. I couldn't get the backs on to save my life. So finally, I was really, really down and upset. And yeah, I even had at the time, my son was, what, 4? Yeah, 4 years old. And I even had him try to come in and help me. at age 4 trying to get backs on these earrings, which was, now that I look back on it, I can kind of laugh about it. But the level of upset that I experienced with that was absolutely unreal. So anyway, long story short, I ended up thinking about it, and I ended up actually figuring out an alternative way to put them in, with one of the stretchy headbands that I had laying around the house, and I've been doing it that way ever since, and it seems to be doing all right. So those are just some of my triumphs that I have encountered with regard to my physical disability. And I thank you all for listening, and have a wonderful day, and stay warm, stay cold, or whatever it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you next time. Bye.